I pulled into a gas station off the highway at 11 p.m. and decided to sleep in my truck for an hour. When I woke up, the lot was empty. I got back on the road. 20 minutes in, I heard a thumping sound coming from behind me. I told myself it was just a tool shifting around in the truck bed. Then a deafening crack exploded from directly behind my head. I turned around. A man was standing in my truck bed, smashing the glass divider with one of my tools, trying to get through it, while I was doing 70 on the highway. This happened about 8 months ago. I was heading back from a job site 3 hours from my house. Long day, hard physical work. By the time I got back on the road, it was already past 10. I knew immediately that I wasn't going to make it all the way home. Not safely. I could barely keep my eyes pointed forward, let alone focused. About 45 minutes in, my eyelids started doing that thing where they drift down on their own without permission. I was physically shaking my head, trying to stay alert. I pulled into the next gas station off the highway. Around 11 p.m. I filled up my tank, smoked a cigarette, stood there in the parking lot debating. Still 2 hours of driving ahead of me. No way I was making it. I made the call to take a nap right there and finish the drive after. I drove to the far corner of the lot, turned off the engine. I've slept in worse places. I was out almost instantly. When my alarm went off, it felt like I had blinked. More alert than before. Not fully rested. Good enough. I looked around the lot before pulling out. When I'd stopped, there had been at least 2 other cars there. Now the lot was completely empty. Just me. I didn't think anything of it. I pulled back onto the highway. For the first 20 minutes, everything was fine. I was zoning out in that pleasant way where muscle memory takes over and you stop having to think about driving. Then I heard something. A faint thumping sound, coming from somewhere behind me. I turned around a couple of times, but didn't see anything moving in the back seat. Figured it was something shifting around in the truck bed. One of my tools. Something that had come loose during the day. It wasn't worth pulling over. I turned the radio up to drown it out. At some point, I slammed my hand against the dashboard out of frustration. Strangely, the thumping stopped. For about 10 minutes, everything was quiet. And I was actually relieved. Not because the sound had been worrying me, just because it was annoying me. But then my brain caught up to something. A tool or a loose item in a truck bed doesn't stop because you hit the dashboard. An inanimate object doesn't respond to that. So what had I just done that caused the sound to stop? I was turning that question over in my head, trying to find the answer I needed, when a deafening crack exploded from directly behind me. Not a normal sound. Not the kind of sound your truck makes. The kind of sound that makes your hands leave the wheel. I turned around. A man was standing in my truck bed, using one of my tools to smash the glass divider between the truck bed and the back seat. Over and over. Moving like an animal trying to claw its way out of a cage. I swerved. Not because I decided to. My hands just moved. I lost control of the truck on a highway at 70 miles an hour while a man tried to break through the glass behind my head. I genuinely thought I was going to flip. I thought I was going to die. Somehow I wrestled the truck back under control, skidded to a halt halfway between the lane and the shoulder. I sat there for 1 second, just breathing. Then I ripped off my seatbelt. I don't know what came over me. I'm not brave. I'm not armed. But I couldn't just sit there. I threw my door open and ran around the truck. As I came around toward the truck bed, a man in a hoodie was climbing out. He jumped down and sprinted toward the tree line. I chased him for about 5 seconds. Then every part of my brain caught up. Pitch black. Completely alone out here. No idea if he was armed. Whatever had caused me to run after a man who had just tried to break through the glass behind my head, it ran out very quickly. I ran back to the truck and sped off without looking back. A little while down the road, I pulled over to check the damage. My hands were shaking badly enough that I had to grip the steering wheel just to keep them still. The glass divider wasn't completely shattered, but it was close. One more hit would have taken it out entirely. I climbed into the truck bed to see what he had been hitting it with. Then something else caught my eye. A foreign object sitting in the truck bed that didn't belong to me. A trash bag, wrapped over on itself multiple times like someone had been trying to keep it very secure. Small, about the size of 2 fists, it looked wet. I crouched down to get a closer look, and the smell hit me, rancid, like rotting meat. I didn't want to touch it, but I needed it out of my truck. I grabbed it as carefully as I could and threw it toward the tree line, got back in the truck, started driving. Then I looked down at my hands. They were tinted red. The bag had been coated in something red, all over my palms. I rubbed them on my jeans and drove. That was all I could do. Just drive and try not to think about what was on my hands, or what was in that bag, or why someone had climbed into my truck bed at a gas station while I was asleep and ridden with that bag all the way out to the middle of a dark highway. I never told the police, didn't tell anyone for weeks. The only explanation that makes any sense is that he climbed in while I was sleeping in the parking lot, laid flat in the truck bed for 20 minutes of driving without me seeing him. I've never figured out what was in that bag. I've told myself 100 different things. Food that had gone bad, something from a job site, any explanation that I can live with. But I looked at my hands for weeks after that night and kept seeing red. And I have not napped in a gas station parking lot since.